Bam! My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know what we doing, man. We talking boxing. I'm Jay Smith, and let me kick this show off by saying good morning to everybody. Beautiful day to be here, to have witnessed what we did on the weekend. And let me just say, man, it's just a beautiful day to be alive. God gave us another day, my peoples. Hell yeah. Salute to everybody tuning in, of course. Size in the building. Starsky in the building. Hogs Baffleworth. Salute, family. Check it, fellas. Check it, fellas. What a weekend of boxing. All these fights that we got. We got a lot of good fights this weekend. Lots to talk about. We saw Shakur Carrington get a spectacular win in a fight that he had to dig deep. A very tough opponent that took him to the limit. There was a point in that fight where we didn't know if Shakur was going to pull it off. Then we got Keyshawn Davis, who dominated Jermaine Ortiz. He told us he was going to stop him, and that's exactly what he did. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. Oh, well, I try to tell you. Some of us try to tell you that Shakur is him. Hopefully the disrespect of Shakur Stevenson ends now. All the haters, all the people who don't know shit about boxing. Oh, Shakur didn't beat nobody. Shakur didn't beat nobody. Well, he beat one of the most young, accomplished fighters of this generation in Teofimo Lopez. A multi-division champion, a lineal champion, a unified champion, a ring belt magazine champion. What more can they say about Shakur? What more angles can they find to hate on him? Boxing on paper, salute. So, look, man, we also had Josh Kelly versus Bakromor Tasaliev, and that fight, it was interesting the way that it played out. I'm super, I have to say, upset. I'm bewildered, flabbergasted, perturbed by the way the commentators was calling that fight. They wasn't calling the fight. To be honest with y'all, they didn't call the fight. If they were supposed to call the fight, they did a horrible job. Horrible. I'm disgusted. They was not calling a fight. They was calling what Josh Kelly was doing. They was doing everything they could to portray Josh Kelly as the guy winning the fight. And that's what their whole focus was about. Horrible. Xander Sayas also became a unified champion out of Puerto Rico. And that was a special win. We've seen some great fighters out of Puerto Rico, but right now, Xander Sayas is the guy. Remember, Edgar Berlanga, he's lost a couple of times already. And his last loss to Edgar Berlanga, to Hamza Shiraz, he pretty much got pummeled, brutalized. Hamza Shiraz was like, just beat the shit out of him. Suriel Matias, you saw versus Dalton Smith, got dropped and took a nasty beating. So right now, the face of boxing in Puerto Rico, who is it? Is Xander Sayas. He's the guy. So without further ado, my peoples, let's do the breakdown fight by fight. And I'm going to kick this off with Shakur Carrington. Did you guys see this fight? Did you get to witness it? The Hydro Grind, salute, my brother. Shakur Carrington versus Carlos, man, I keep forgetting his name. Carlos Castro. Shakur Carrington versus Carlos Castro was a heck of a fight. And, they was going back and forth. They was both landing good shots during the first 3 rounds. But then round number 4 showed up. And in round number 4, Carlos Castro caught Shakur Carrington with one of these. landed, well, didn't land, but shot the jab right down the middle. And when Shushu went like this, Carlos Castro went like that. The looping right hand. Bam! It went around the guard. Shushu had his hands up, but the shot went around and caught the right hand. Boom! Hard. Kind of wobbled him and backed him into the corner. Then Carlos went in. Bam, 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 bam. Let the hands go. Caught Shushu with a few shots. And in that round, it seemed like Carlos Castro was ready to take over. It seemed like, oh shit, what's happening? Landed some good shots. Clearly won the round. And round number 5, Shushu did something that the veterans do. Took the round off. Round number 5, Shushu didn't just go in and try to fight back. He would have got knocked out. He didn't have his legs under him yet. So round number 5, you saw Shushu moving. Carlos Castro chasing him, trying to make something happen for himself. And Shushu played it smart. Moved around in that round number 5, got through it. And then in round number 6, you saw him starting to get back into his rhythm. Started counter-punching effectively. I think one mistake Shushu was making, and he was paying the price for it, is that he would shoot his combinations and try to move straight back. But Carlos Castro is a good counter-puncher. So he go bang, 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 and catch Shushu. But that looping right hand, he caught him a lot of times right here on the top of the head. Caught him a couple of times in the back of the head. The referee didn't see it, I guess. But those shots at the top of the head and in the ear, those are dangerous shots, my peoples. Those are the type of punches that when you catch a few of them, before you know it, you're out of balance, your equilibrium is messed up, and you get knocked out. But Shushu started making those adjustments. Started sidestepping now. Boom! And catching him with that counter right hand. And ultimately, Shushu got one of the biggest knockouts, that we've seen. Of course, we've seen some good knockouts this year. But this is what makes this such a great knockout is that it was a tough fight. Shushu had to dig deep. He had an opponent in front of him that kept catching him with that looping right hand, that kept working hard to the body, catching him with good hard shots to the body. But Shushu stayed focused, stay composed, and when the time came, when he landed that counter right, boom, and hurt him, it was a wrap. He went for the combination. Bam, 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 bam. Boom! Dropped him. Those of you who've seen, I was calling a fight. And the first thing I said when he went down, he's not getting up, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. You could see that he was hurt real bad the way that he went down. Boom, on his back. Laying down on his back like this. I knew it was over. Shushu Carrington was able to overcome adversity and walked out of there with the W. Shoe York City, my peoples. Shoe World Order. Toy Mafia, salute, bam. That's when you see that this is a special fighter. Shushu Carrington, I'm going to compare it to Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. Abdullah didn't get the stoppage, of course, but he raised his level. He went to a place where he never been to. He had to be better than what he ever been in his life. And that's exactly what he did. That's what the great ones do. Well, Shushu had an opponent in front of him that gave him the toughest fight of his life, that hurt him, and ultimately, Shushu had to raise his level, go to where he never been, to walk out of there with that W and a spectacular stoppage. Not often you see a stoppage like that with such a sharp, accurate combination. All of them landing, bang, 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 boom. Whoa. Whoa, my peoples. Type of knockout that we was watching with an ugly face. Boom. Oh, shit, golly. Had all of us looking ugly, looking at that knockout. So salute to Shushu Carrington for the monster performance, the monster stoppage. You know, I expected him to win. I said he was going to win. I didn't know it was going to be this tough. He pulled it off, man. You saw the emotions at the end of the fight, Shushu crying and everything. You know, he got emotional because this is the type of win where you're watching the fight and you're wondering, is he going to pull it off? Is he going to be able to beat this guy? Is this guy going to break him down with those punches to the head? It's crazy because right before Shushu stopped it, I was like, yo, Carlos Castro giving him a fight. Giving him a fight. We don't know who's going to win this. And then right there, Shushu came with that combination. Bam, bam, bam. Boom! Laced him. Dodger Grind, do you think he can keep that title for a while in that division? The Giant Espinosa, little guy Nick Ball, that division has a lot of talent. I mean, the division has a lot of talent, but Shushu a talented fighter. He a special fighter. That title not going nowhere. I mean, if it's time to unify titles, he could lose it. He could win another one. You never know, because when the best fight each other, somebody going to win, somebody going to lose. But Shushu a special fighter. It's going to take a special fighter to beat him. Simple as that. Salute to Shushu Carrington and his team. They did a great job, my peoples. It was an amazing fight. Amazing showdown. And look, Teofimo Lopez from Brooklyn, just like Shushu, Teofimo lost. Oscar Berlanga, who been claiming he's the king of New York, he lost. Now it's Shushu Carrington. Shoe World Daughter. Shushu Carrington right now is the only champion out of New York City, my peoples. Give him his flowers. Give him his respect. He's the guy. He's the guy in New York City right now. Shushu Carrington is the king of New York. There you have it. Let's move on to the next fight, my peoples. Keyshawn Davis versus Jermaine Ortiz. Ha, ha, ha. I try to tell ya. I try to tell you, fellas. They said that Keyshawn, that his mind wasn't right, that Jermaine Ortiz was going to pull off the upset. The Hydro Grind, I try to tell you, my brother, Jermaine Ortiz, he's our Dominican brother, but you got to stop making predictions because a guy's Dominican. You got to stop making predictions because I like this guy. I like him, so I'm going for him. Nah, my brother. You know, I love Jermaine Ortiz, my Dominican brother, and I wish him well. But ultimately, I don't make predictions based on who's Dominican or who I like or who. No. I make an honest assessment. And based on that assessment, I make my prediction. My people, don't forget to hit that like button. Y'all already know, 2026, there's no ghost watching. So I made an assessment based off previous performances from Jermaine Ortiz and based on what I know Keyshawn Davis is able to do, based on his skill set. And I was like, nah, look, Jermaine Ortiz might make it interesting because I've seen that he could be competitive versus top-level guys, but we've never seen anything from Jermaine Ortiz that tells us he could beat them. At least I haven't. I made my assessment because I saw how he did good versus Teofimo Lopez. But in them championship rounds, that's all he did. Good. He didn't do great. He didn't try to take it from him. He just tried not to get hurt and look good. And something I didn't like about that loss to Teofimo Lopez, how was Jermaine Ortiz? Smiling. You just lost. You like. So obviously he was happy to do good. He didn't need to win. He was happy to do good. Lomachenko, the same thing. He did good. He was competitive at times. But when it came to the championship rounds, he did enough to not get hurt. He did enough to not get knocked out. But he didn't try to take it from the champion. So based on what I've seen before, Jermaine Ortiz showed me that he's good enough to make it competitive versus some of the top level guys, but he hasn't shown me that he's good enough to beat them. And that's what we saw right here. Keyshawn Davis completely dominated him throughout the fight. I think that he felt Keyshawn Davis' power early on and started using, moving around a lot. Again, trying not to get hurt. Jermaine Ortiz wasn't fighting looking like he want to win, looking like he want to take it to Keyshawn. Instead, he was trying to survive. He was trying to make it through. That's what I saw. And Keyshawn Davis went into this fight with the approach of, I want to stop this guy. Tio couldn't stop him. Loma couldn't stop him. I want to stop him. And he did exactly that. And let me tell you something, my peoples. That's where you see the skills of a Keyshawn Davis. It's really, really hard to stop somebody who's on survival mode. Virgil Ortiz, for the second half of the fight, was looking to survive, my peoples. He was just looking to make it through. He was throwing what I call defensive punches. What's defensive punches? When your opponent coming in and you don't want him to hit you, so you're like trying to get him to not hit you. But you're not really sitting on your punches. You're not really putting that work in like that. You're surviving. And it's hard to stop a guy when they're on survival mode. But Keyshawn Davis went after him, kept applying pressure, kept catching him with those hard body shots. Ultimately, he dropped him with a body shot. Already know he had him hurt. And in the last round, with about 13 seconds to go, boom, caught him with a nasty left hook to the body. Stopped him. Got the stoppage like he said he would. So while people thought that he's not going to be the same, he got mental issues, and he messed up the bag at 134, 135. That was a debacle. So what he going to do now? Keyshawn Davis shows up and has a great performance. Salute to Keyshawn Davis. Salute to the team. They went out there and did exactly what they said they was going to do. For Keyshawn Davis, his stock is up. Boxing is a what have you done for me lately sport. That's what boxing is. So when he didn't make weight and he retired and then moved up, people was going down hard on him. Keyshawn, he ain't shit. He didn't make weight. He did that on purpose. He didn't want to fight. He this, he that. That's it. What have you done for me lately? You're the first guy to stop Jermaine Ortiz. When Teofimo couldn't stop him, when Lomachenko couldn't stop him, you dominated him. Teo and Loma didn't dominate him. The businessman dominated and stopped him in the last round. You know how hard it is to stop somebody in round number 12? After you've been throwing punches for 12 rounds, you've been chasing them around for 12 rounds, and you still get the stoppage. Keyshawn shoulders at 140. He's strong, he's fast, sharp. He was ripped, in great shape, and ready to go at it for 12 rounds, which is exactly what he did. Salute to Keyshawn Davis. Yo, bam, the hydro grind, that's all you got. He had no answers. I thought you was going to have a little bit more, bro. You've been telling me throughout this lead-up, Jermaine Ortiz is going to get him. Jermaine is going to get him. Got his ass whooped. It's not just that he had no answer to hydro grind. Got his ass whooped and got stopped in round number 12. You and everybody else put some respect on the businessman. I don't want to hear, he had no answers. I want to hear, yo, Keyshawn was great. Keyshawn was spectacular. Keyshawn was better than Loma and better than Tio and put the beats on Jermaine Ortiz. Give him the flowers, bro. Give him the flowers. Frank, good morning, brother. Shakur looking good. That's what we talking about now, by the way. We moving on. But let me just say, people need to show some respect. Put some respect on Keyshawn Davis' name. You see what he about. You see what he did on Saturday. What top-level fighters, what world champions, accomplished fighters was not able to do, Keyshawn Davis did. Stopped him. Brutally. With a brutal shot to the body, bro. CER, facts. Give the flowers while they still smell them. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. We gotta give fighters their flowers when they deserve it and when they accomplishing right there. You gotta let it be known. Keyshawn Davis overcame adversity, overcame mental health struggles, overcame alcohol, and showed up in the most important night of his career thus far. And look what he did. Salute to Keyshawn Davis, man. Golly, got to show some love and respect for that. Now we're going to move on to the main event, my peoples. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. Whoa. Y'all remember the narrative leading up to this fight? Shakur's going to be running. Shakur's not going to engage. A lot of people saying Teofimo's going to knock him out. All of that stuff about how Shakur's just going to run. And he's going to be scared of the power. While people try to suggest that this fight was going to take place in a football field, Shakur told him, step in the bathroom with me. I got you. Go. My peoples, let me take a quick commercial break because we got a lot of boxing for breakfast for you this morning, man. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about this, my people. Lots of great fights, but now we're going to put some focus on Shakur Stevenson for doing what he did to Teofimo Lopez. Whoa. CER, pillow fist. Fighters are winning. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this. Because it's very interesting the way that people said this fight was going to play out and the way that it actually did. So, give me a moment, my peoples. Going for a short commercial break. Eye for eye, salute, my brother. And after this commercial break, we talking boxing. I want to holler at the people who said Shakur was going to be running all night. I'll be right back. My peoples, we back in the building. Appreciate those who just jump in and hit the like button right away, man. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I'm Jay Smith, and we talking boxing. We have to address Shakur Stevenson and the way that this fight played out. Salute to everybody tuning in. Enjoy your breakfast if you having it. Drive safe if you're on your way to work. So, where's my peoples who said Shakur Stevenson was going to be running all night long? Now, CER, I love the fact that you said that because I want to show you something. Pillow fist fighters are winning, right? That narrative about pillow hand Shakur that people love so much. Imagine that. Imagine them pillow hands doing that to somebody's face. Imagine that. I mean, them pillowcases must have had dumbbells and ball bearings in it. Beat the shit out of Teofimo Lopez. Look at his face. Left eye, swollen, cut up. Right eye, swollen. Both eyes almost shut. Forehead, a bunch of lumps like the cartoons. Beat the shit out of him. But somehow, it's pillow hands. Imagine that, my peoples. BMF media, I specifically told you that Tio always struggles with southpaws, that Shakur wins easy, and you said no. So I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't even know. I said it could be. I said Tio could make it competitive, but I said this guy was gonna win. What? Like, yo, y'all gotta stop coming over here, man, telling me, oh, I specifically told you and I was right. I predicted Shakur was gonna beat him. Like, what are we doing over? You need, man. Listen, hold on, man. You're gonna need a 24-hour break, man. I'm not dealing with that dumb shit. It's too early. I'll be making predictions. I'm right, and then y'all come with some goofy shit. Talk about, nah, I specifically told you, man. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. I don't even want to hear you. Sound goofy as hell. Eye for eye. We told them Shakur was going to put that boy to bed. Like, yo, I done spent 3 months telling people Shakur was going to win this fight. And some goofy going to show. I specifically told you, man, shut the hell up. You didn't specifically say shit. Danny Guns, they beat the brakes off of him. Bro, the disrespect of Shakur Stevenson, I'm hoping that is going to stop. That is over. Remember the narrative of Shakur he hasn't beat nobody. Shakur hasn't done anything. Well, I guess you done with that one. Shakur only runs and doesn't engage. I guess y'all done with that one. You see old boy that got sent for a 24-hour break, damn, he didn't hear none of that shit that I said. He didn't hear that I say that Shakur was going to make it exciting. He didn't hear that I said Shakur was going to stand in there and bang with him. He didn't hear that I say that Shakur was not going to run. He only heard that I said that it could be interesting. That's the only thing he heard I said. God, man, shut the hell up, bro. Goofball shit. Clifton Dennis. You notice the big punches that don't have A+ level skill said always take a loss when they finally reach the championship level. If you're a big puncher, once you get the belt, I know your loss is coming. Side, I specifically said tail stands, no chance. And that's exactly what I said to him. Yo, I think the funniest thing is when you tell people that this guy's going to win and you definitely show this guy's going to win and he does win, so you're right. And they're like, yeah, but he didn't win like you said. Like, man, shut the hell up. You a goofball, man. Yeah, that's why you need 24 hours. Come tomorrow and don't say dumb shit like that. Clifton Dennis, Brian Norman Jr., Matias, Mother Mas, all 3 champions, all known for their power and not their slick boxing, all took L's. Side, they all complain how Shakur and Devin fight, but won't complain about how Josh Kelly won his title. Because it's always a narrative against the people that you don't like. Look at this. I had somebody yesterday tell me that, Al, some probably trolling. Yeah, that's somebody who don't know shit about boxing and need a little bit of attention. Matter of fact, hold on, look. Yeah, let him ride. I was going to block that. I was going to block him for that goofy shit, but give him a little 24 hour. Maybe tomorrow he come back and don't say nothing dumb. Tomorrow he come say something dumb, I just block him. But I had somebody yesterday tell me that they felt like Shakur fight was too boring. I was like, you see, now it was too boring. But you have to understand, when the Yankees are playing Boston, in Boston, and the Yankees are winning the game 6 runs to 1. Yo, by the eighth inning, you see people leaving. You see people leaving the stadium by the 8th. By the 9th, the place is damn near empty. Does it mean that the game was boring? Or was it only boring to Boston fans because Yankees was kicking their ass? And everybody else watching on TV, watching them home runs, watching all the runs, just excited. Ooh, going crazy. But to the people that's rooting for the losers, of course this shit is boring. Your team getting their ass kicked. So if you was praying for Shakur to lose, if you was praying for Shakur to get knocked out, that was a boring fight to watch for you. You watching your boy getting beat up. There's people who went on this show and said they was putting money on Teofimo Lopez. If you're watching your money going down the drain, you think that shit is fun for you? It's not fun, bro, to watch your money go down the drain. CER, facts. The ones that they don't like have to do so much more than the ones they like. And it's always the case. It's always the case. The same people that will tell you, oh, Shakur was running or runs too much. They the same ones that tell you, yo, Josh Kelly did what he had to do. Josh Kelly boxed him. He was boxing. Meanwhile, Josh Kelly was on his bicycle 80% of that fight. You won't fight. Listen, people love to focus on the De Los Santos fight. And I understand that they're going to bring De Los Santos for Shakur's whole career like they brought up Gamboa for Crawford's whole career. If Gamboa wobble him, imagine what Arrow's gonna do to him. If Gamboa wobble him, imagine what Canelo's gonna do to him. They look dumb as hell after the fights. Dumb as hell. So now you have to see Shakur. And what can you do? Bring the same fight to say that he always running. Bring the same fight over and over. He beat the crap out of Zepeda, but you don't remember that. Beat the crap out of Jamel Herring, you don't remember that. Beat the crap out of undefeated world champion Oscar Valdez, you don't remember that. Now beat the crap out of Teofimo Lopez, you're not going to remember that because you're only going to remember De Los Santos. That's the reality. You're only going to remember De Los Santos, no matter what he does. So now, where the people are that say, oh, Shakur ain't beat nobody. Shakur ain't beat nobody. Well, if you really believe Shakur ain't beat nobody, that just says you don't know shit about boxing. Listen to the people who know the sport. Listen to the people who understand it. Because you clearly don't know shit about boxing. But now, Shakur Stevenson does what he did versus Teofimo Lopez, a multi-division world champion, a linear world champion, a Ring Belt Magazine world champion. What now? You want to discredit Teo to say that this win is not that big? What now? Shakur Stevenson, at 28 years old, is a 4-division champion. Just remember, Floyd Mayweather, he was a 5-division champion. Shakur's already a 4-division champion. Let that shit sizzle in your spirit, my peoples. Analyze and understand that. Danny Guns, your take on Saez. We're going to be talking about Xander Saez. We're going to get to that. But I'll say right now, special fighter. Vincent McMahon. Hey, big homie, what's going on? Salute, family. We talking boxing. Trying to figure out where's all those people who went on Boxing for Breakfast and said that Shakur was going to get knocked out. Shakur was going to be running for 12 rounds. Shakur never beat nobody. Well, beat Teofimo Lopez. Beat one of the most famous and one of the most accomplished fighters of this generation. Where the haters at? It's like Shakur keeps telling the haters, shut your ass up. Shut up. Every time the haters talk mad shit about Shakur after the fight, they be like this. Right before Zepeda, Shakur's going to be running. Shakur's going to get knocked out. The Hydro Grind, talk to me, my G. You told me Shakur's going to get knocked out by Zepeda. And then, I don't know what happened. Shakur beat him. Y'all thought this fight was going to happen in a football field. Shakur told Teofimo Lopez, step in the bathroom with me. We don't need a football field. Step in this bathroom and let's handle business right here. Beat the shit out of him. Come on now. Al, a lot of fans are prisoners of the moment. That's a fact. But they're only prisoners of the moment when it's the guy that they don't like. For Terrence Crawford, they brought up Gamboa, wobbling him for his whole career. Every fight, 135 Gamboa wobble him. And for Shakur Stevenson, how many fights, how many years ago he fought De Los Santos? They still bringing up the De Los Santos fight. Like every fight, he fights like that. They refuse to accept that he was hurt, that he went into that fight with an injured hand and did what he had to do to get the win. They refuse that. They won't accept it. They won't remember that he beat the shit out of Valdez, made it look easy. They won't remember how he stopped Jamel Herring, the only Jamel Herring to beat Lamont Roach. Oh, they don't remember that. Beat the shit out of Jamel Herring, stopped him. Oh, they don't remember that. And now look what he did to Teofimo Lopez. Made him look like a second shift Wendy's supervisor. Now what? Now what can you say about Shakur Stevenson? Shakur hands. The man is a world-class fighter. And guess what? Shakur Stevenson got the biggest sellout in that arena. Let that shit sizzle in your spirit. Nobody watches him. He don't sell. He don't put butts in seats. He got paid $10 million. Guess what? The price is up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Shakur Stevens is going to be one of the guys making the most money in boxing. Now he went to a better spot on the pound-for-pound list. I can't wait to see the new pound-for-pound list. 4-division world champion. By the way, right now in boxing, I could be mistaken. I'm not sure. But right now, I think that the only active 4-division champions, Shakur Stevenson, and now you know it. Bam! Let that shit sizzle in your spirit. Let it marinate in your soul if you've been hating on Shakur Stevenson, one of the most accomplished fighters in the game today. Kyle, he the best boxer in the world right now. How could we argue against it? How could we argue against it, bro? Ronaldo, he is the best in the game today. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Shakur hands. Nah, we knew Kur was special, bro. He was destroying Tio. The face was nasty. Yo, he left Teofimo lumped the shit out of him. Kyle, I thought it was going to be a draw. But after round one, I see how much better Shakur was. He whooped his ass from the beginning to the end. Eye for eye. Yo, Jay, Tio didn't do that funny leg trick he normally do. I mean, he out there getting beat up. Yo, and I don't know if y'all saw this. If y'all saw that replay, yo, there was a moment where Tio was so frustrated, he actually tried to bite Shakur. The replay shows that he went on his neck and all that, but he couldn't bite him. You know, the mouthpiece and the sweat and the moving. He tried to bite him, y'all. Shakur hands. He just smoked Zepeda. And then went and did the same thing to Shakur. Ronaldo, for real. Easy work. Too easy. The assassin. Yo, why you mute me, gang? You must have said some hating ass shit. I don't know what you said. I don't mute nobody for no reason. You probably said some hating ass shit. You should remember what hating ass shit you said right before I mute you. Alani wanted Tio to win because his style, but realized that defense always wins. And it's not just defense, offense. Not just defense, Alani, because look, it wasn't defense that did this to Tio. Left eye almost swollen shut, nasty cut. Right eye almost swollen shut. Forehead with like 50 different lumps. It wasn't defense, family. Offense too. Beat the shit out of him. Shakur hands. Word. He got a 10-piece. Ronaldo. He didn't get hit. Yo, Shakur walked out of there like his face, like he was in a spa. Like they put a hot towel in his face, massaged it, rubbed some essential oils, and then wiped it clean. And that's the type of procedure that he looked like he went through right after the fight. It don't look like he was getting punched in the face. Eye for eye, no, bro. He got an 11-piece. Ronaldo, you knew it, bro. You know what you're saying. I try to tell people. I don't make an assessment based on who I like or based on who I don't like. I look at the skill sets, I evaluate it, and I know Tio was just going to lose this fight guaranteed. I thought he could have made it more interesting, and I'm telling you guys, Teofimo Lopez got to fire his pops. Teofimo is not going to level up with his pops. The worst instructions that I ever saw in a fight was when Teofimo was fighting Cambosos. Pop Duke's over there talking about, fuck him up. Fuck him up. Bro, I'm trying. Like, what the fuck kind of instructions is those? Like, who says that shit? You getting outboxed, and your answer to that is go fuck him up. And in this fight, you see T.O. Pops talking about throw punches. Where's your power at? Huh? Yo, how about sidestep? Work the body. How about step back and counter him? How about counter punch him when he's coming in? How about clinch him when he's trying to let the hands fly? How about actual instructions of what you want him to do inside the ring, bro? None of it. You don't see it. So Teofimo Lopez needs to fire his pops ASAP. The Assassin, Shakur needs to fight Murataya or Tank next. Ain't no other fighter I want to see him fight. So you have to understand, Tank is dealing with legal situations, and if Tank don't want to fight Shakur, there's no way that Shakur could fight him, bro. You can't fight a guy that don't want to fight you. And then I'm going to tell you something, The Assassin. Shakur was trying to fight Murataya about a year ago, and they refused it. Shakur offered him a title shot. Yo, what's up? They refused it. So, if Murataya don't want to fight Shakur, you're saying, yo, Shakur got to fight these guys. How can you fight guys that don't want to fight you, bro? It's impossible. They got to want to fight him to make those fights happen. CER, he was trying to bite him and change his mind. No, he didn't change his mind. He couldn't bite him. He tried. But because of the mouthpiece, the sweat, the movement, he just couldn't do it. He tried. Shakur hands. There were some punches that looked like he was going to drop T.O. Yeah, he wobbled them a couple of times. He made them feel it. Alani, after watching that, Ben is easy work for Ben is food. Ben is food for Shakur, bro. Food. And I like Conor Ben. I respect Conor Ben. I actually said he was going to beat Chris Eubank Jr. in that rematch. But Shakur will cook his ass. Cooking him. Cooking him. Ox Steel. T.O. ain't nobody. He lost to Cambozas. Looked trash in the last season's fights. Yeah, you're a Shakur hater. You're a Shakur hater. That's the thing. Either you're a Shakur hater or you don't know shit about boxing. T.O. is a multi-division champion, a unified champion, a ring belt magazine champion, and he ain't a nobody, man, you need a 24-hour break for that, man. We don't need the dumb shit right now. Come back with smart comments and smart criticism. To say that a reigning world champion, unified champion is trash, either you don't know shit about boxing or you're a Shakur hater. You need a break. You need to relax. Take 24 hours and come back with something smart. Eye for eye. Hand towel and essential oils. Yo, Shakur looked like he was getting a massage in his face right after the fight. No damage. CER, facts. Tell him what to do instead of just curse him out. Like, bro, you ever seen somebody go beat him up? Go beat him up. Like, how? Tell me how you want me to beat him up. Give me real instructions. From the outside looking in, you can see things that the fighters don't see. You can notice things that the fighters don't notice. So it's different. If Teofimo Lopez would have lost in a competitive fight, if he would have had somebody there like Bozy, like Bomac, if he would have had somebody there like Robert Garcia, he could have lost in a competitive fight. Got his ass whooped. And Pop Deuce wasn't doing nothing to change that in the corner. Alani, is stepping on the lead foot legal? Just wondering. I mean, technically it is, because you can't say that I'm doing it on purpose. If I'm not doing it on purpose, it's legal, because it's shit that happens. But let me give you an example. Shakur is a lefty, a southpaw Teofimo, or orthodox fighter. How many times did you see Teofimo land a good right hand, a good lead right hand up top? Probably none. That's the bread and butter for a southpaw fighter. When he's coming in, bam, catch him with the lead right hand. You didn't see that. Teofimo started doing effective body work after like round number 8. Who you gonna wear out if you start working the body after round number 8? And he was landing good punches to the body. He landed some good shots to the body, but you started doing that shit in round number 8. Remember with George Kambosos? When he was losing a fight, and then he started winning it. He had Kambosos on survival mode. But bro, you made adjustments like in round number 8. When you was below on the cars, behind on the cars, you needed a stoppage. Now you making adjustments. He allowed Shakur to beat the shit out of him for 8 rounds, and then he tried to start going to the body. Too little, too late, fams. That body work that you started doing late in the fight, you were supposed to do it early. And maybe you could have at least made it competitive. You could have at least lost in a fight 7-5. It's like, damn, yeah, you won 5 rounds on Shakur. Instead, you got your ass whooped. With your pops there telling you, go fight, throw punches. Where's your power at? Man, shit, yeah. Fire your pops. Pop Dukes need to be fired ASAP. Pops got to go. He had no instructions on how to win this fight. Nothing. Hakeem, T.O. Dab versus John Fury for the worst father title fight. Make it happen. Both of them, man. Both of them, Ben should have got fired. Shakur hands. Cool, death proving these guys can't beat him. Then Tio catch him with a few punches. You thought people said Court can't take a punch. That's the people who don't know shit about boxing. People who don't know shit about boxing will tell you the craziest shit. How exactly did they decide that Tio can't take a punch, that Shakur can't take a punch? I don't know. I never seen Shakur dropped. I never seen him get hurt. I seen him eat some good shots. Every fighter eats some good shots at some point. Everybody gets hit. In boxing, everybody gets hit. And I see Shakur eat some good punches. Keep it moving. Stay composed and keep doing what he's supposed to do. Stay with the game plan. CER, now I see why Mama Schofield's son faked the coma. Man, they know they don't want Shakur. They know they don't want Shakur. Shakur hands. 24. We got to give it to him, man. They show up over here with this dumb shit. Ooh, Jay, I told you, Jay, and I was right and you were wrong, Jay. God damn, these motherfuckers live to, they dream about one day trying to tell me that they was right and I was wrong. The assassin. I don't see nobody else beating him besides Tank or Tyler Haney. Won't get it done. Nobody beats Shakur. There's a reason why Tank never want to fight Shakur, and there's a reason why Devin never want to fight Shakur. They know what happens. They know how it plays out. I'm going to remind you that even though you see Tank beating Shakur, Shakur has been calling out Tank for the last 3 years. Shakur been asking Tank to fight him for the last 3 years. Have you seen Tank saying, I want to fight Shakur? Have you ever seen Tank showing any interest in fighting Shakur? There's your answer right there. They don't want that. They don't want to take that out. Pasta track. You see that dude got punched and his hairpiece came off. Hilarious. Yo, man, when I'm calling a fight, I say a punch to a left hook to the wig piece. A right to the toupee. But damn, it really was punches to the toupee. He got his wig peeled. And usually when we say, yo, bro got his wig pushed, we don't mean it literally got pushed. Big Baby, the first fighter, bro, to get his wig pushed for real. Like, bam. Full convertible mode. Boom. Side. How do you think Keyshawn looked without Bomac? He was putting that pressure on Jermaine. Yo, Keyshawn Davis looked great. Keyshawn Davis looked great out there. Did exactly what he was supposed to do to dominate a very good opponent and ultimately got the stoppage over the guy who Tio couldn't stop, who Lomachenko couldn't stop. Great win. That was a great win for the businessman. Wally Amas, salute my brother. What up, Jay? I'm in the building. Shout out to the chat. Big win for Shakur. The sweetness of Science Stevenson. We don't know what nickname he gonna take on next. Shakur Picasso Stevenson. Shakur Sugar Stevenson. I think Shakur is a great fit for that Sugar name. Think about it. Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Shane Mosley, Sugar Shakur Stevenson. It fits. It fits. Shakur fits right in with the great sugars that we've seen in the game. And that was a sweet ass whooping that he dished out yesterday, if I may say. Side, Kid Austin will get beat the hell up. Kid Austin don't want none of that, man. They know how that fight plays out. They know what happens. COE Films, they don't want to talk about that. They don't. The thing about Shakur Stevenson, man, and we've been saying, and a lot of people understand it, he truly is the boogeyman. He truly is that guy that the men up top don't want to fight. Teofimo Lopez, y'all remember, man, this wasn't his first option that he wanted. He was trying to make it with Boots. He was trying to make it with Devin Haney. And when those didn't play out, that's when Shakur came into the picture. Shakur was the third option. Teofimo didn't want to fight no Shakur. It's just that those other fights didn't play out. They didn't work out. Side, Tank embarrassed, and he know it. Skip a clipper. Tank not beating Shakur, but Tank got a chance of knocking out Shakur. I mean, it's a sport where one punch can change everything. But when you talk about the best defensive fighter in the game, going in the ring and hoping to land that punch, the odds are against you big time. Shakur has Jay Smith. What happened in the back fight? He was the champ. Yo, they did backward Mortasaliev dirty, man. And I'm going to say, look, the judges saw it however they saw it. But goddamn, that was the most biased commentary I ever seen in my life. The referee was biased too. Helping Josh Kelly survive when he got hurt and everything. Eye for eye. Like Mayweather said, Jay, there's no blueprint out there to beat him. Shakur ain't never been beaten, but Kambosos left the blueprint for Tio. Shakur hands. You always say toupee. Well, we found out that somebody toupee could get pushed off during the fight. So I wouldn't say that Kambosos left the blueprint, because if you look at this fight, it was nothing like the Kambosos versus Tio fight. Shakur didn't fight him the same way Kambosos did. Shakur for his fight. Remember, Kambosos, he boxed him, but Kambosos got hurt. Kambosos got dropped. Kambosos survived through it. He not a better boxer than Tio. He won because Tio went into that fight trying to blast him out of there. And Kambosos capitalized. All them Tio lunging in and going crazy looking for a knockout, Kambosos capitalized. But once Tio realized, I'm not going to knock this dude out, it's not happening, he actually started making adjustments, doing what he should have been doing from the beginning. And if you look at rounds number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Shakur was putting hands on Kambosos, dropped him, had him on survival mode. He never had a chance against Shakur Stevenson. So there's a difference. Kambosos won because Teofimo went in there thinking he could blast him out of there. He didn't go in that fight with this mindset with Shakur. He went in there and quickly found out, damn, this guy's better than me. Got beat up. Simple as that. Got dominated. 11-1, Tio got embarrassed. Tio got embarrassed. And for the people that say Shakur got pillow hands, I mean, come on now. What the hell did he put inside them pillow bags? Ball bearings? Dumbbells? Master locks? Cans of tuna? Because my man's got both his eyes swollen shut. Big ass cut. He was leaking throughout the fight. like 50 lumps in his forehead. Pillow hands? Damn, I would hate to get hit with those type of pillows. Them pillows don't fuck to you up, bro. Side, Tank couldn't do nothing with Roach. How he knocking out Shakur, who's way better defense? I asked the same question. Tank couldn't stop Roach. Couldn't stop Pitbull. But you're going to stop Shakur, the best defensive fighter in the game? I don't know. Poster track. I was wrong about Shakur. I was here saying he had soft eyes and that kid got talented hands. And that kid got talented hands. You see it, bro. And I appreciate you acknowledging that, because there's going to be two types of people. It's going to be the people who say, yo, I was wrong and he did his thing. And then there's going to be the people like the goofball I sent on the 24-hour break who are just going to say, yeah, but T.O.'s not all that. T.O.'s not really all that. Like, god damn. A Ring Magazine champion, a lineal champion, a unified multi-division champion. He's trash? When somebody say that shit, you being disrespectful not only to T.O., you being disrespectful to boxing. And you just showing that you don't know shit about boxing. Shakur hand shaking my head. Why he gotta be from the town? Side. Sugar Shakur Stevenson. That's what I'm saying, man. Sugar Shakur Stevenson. It fits. Paul Ryan. Damn, I missed it. It was a great fight, man. You missed great action. Shakur hands. Sugars. Bro, think about all the sugars in the game. Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Shea Mosley. Now, Sugar Shakur Stevenson. Eye for eye. Hook to the wig piece. You on a roll, Jay. Man. Right shot to the toupee. Well, we saw Jarrell Miller get his toupee pushed back. Wig pushed. We never see somebody get their wig pelt. We're seeing it now, though. COE Films. Shakur too quick Stevenson. Ow. I know they're cool. But Davis versus Shakur, who wins? Shakur got it. Nobody beating Shakur Stevenson. I said this before. There is nobody that beats Shakur Stevenson. That's the reality. Eye for eye. Sugar Shakur, Yankee Stevenson, the Picasso technician. I'm telling y'all, man, Shakur Stevenson is already showing to the people who didn't understand it. He's showing it. Some of us already know what Shakur is, what he brings to the table. To those who don't understand it, who need more evidence, I hope they got enough. Side, they robbed a knockdown from Bakr Murtasaliev. Man, listen, that knockdown at the end of the fight, that was obvious, but they knew the cards was closed. They were like, nah, we can't give him this knockdown. Hold on. We got to do everything we could do to get this win to Josh Kelly. And that's what they did. The assassin, Keyshawn made statement. Good win, but I ain't buying it. They handpicked Ortiz. He fake missed weight for Edwin because he not that Plátano power. Ain't no joke. I see right through they BS. Nah, bro, you see right there, you threading into conspiracy theories. Trust me, brother. I'm telling you, nobody is going to spend, you know the type of money that these elite level fighters spend on a training camp? Nobody's going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a training camp to not make weight, to lose their title, to be embarrassed, and then to have to leave the division. Nobody's going to do that, bro. That doesn't make no sense. These training camps for these elite level fighters, where you talk about nutrition, facility, the strength and conditioning coaches, your trainer, everything, all the pieces that take to do that training camp, bro, nobody's gonna do that to say, nah, we don't wanna do this. It doesn't. I know you don't like Keyshawn because you're saying that. I promise you. Nobody does that in boxing. Nobody spend all that money in a training camp to purposely pull out of a fight. And if you think that Keyshawn Davis is scared of De Los Santos, you wildin', bro. You wildin'. Keyshawn Davis been a world champion. De Los Santos been a very good fighter who still has never reached championship status. He hasn't, and I'm Dominican, my brother. That's my Dominican brother. But I can't rock with that conspiracy because I know, number one, I know it's not true. And number two, if they fight each other, I got Keyshawn whooping his ass. Keyshawn Davis whooping De Los Santos if they fight each other. So all that Plátano power stuff, you can forget about that. Look, ask the Hydro Grind. The Hydro Grind wanted to rock with Jermaine Ortiz because Jermaine Ortiz Dominican. Yeah, my Dominican brother. Our Dominican brother's going to get him. I asked the Hydro Grind this morning, what happened, bro? Nah, he didn't have no answer for Keyshawn. I haven't heard from the Hydro Grind since. That was his only comment. He didn't have no answer. The Hydro Grind is stunned. He's shell-shocked. He was talking a lot. Our Dominican brother gonna do it. Now he's shell-shocked. He never talked again after asking what happened in the fight. If De Los Santos fight Keyshawn, he getting whooped, bro. It don't got nothing to do with none of that you said. Shakur hand, shaking my hand to those refs and judges in the background fight. That was disgusting work. We're gonna get to that. Because I'm gonna go berserk on all of their ass. They did that goofy ass shit over there. Skip a clip of Jay Smith. How do you beat a Shakur Stevenson? I tell you, the way that you beat a Shakur Stevenson is fighting him. And ain't nobody like that, but it takes somebody like a Marcos Maidana, somebody with an awkward style that does awkward shit. I'll give you an example. Remember how, did you see the Marcos Maidana versus Floyd Mayweather, the first fight? A lot of people felt like Maidana won that fight. But Floyd got the W. But if you watch the fight where Maidana threw and landed more punches than Floyd, by the way, Maidana would land this punch a lot on Floyd. Boom! Who else got a looping right hand that goes from top to bottom like that? So Floyd would be doing his usual shoulder roll, but the goddamn punch is coming like a heat-seeking missile from up here. Boom! So Floyd going like that, boom, and getting hit with that shot. Why? Because the shoulder roll is meant to make your right hand miss. Your right hand is going like this and deflecting off of his shoulder. But when your right hand is coming from the top like this, like he trying to slam dunk in your head, boom, he catching you with it. So to beat Shakur Stevenson, you need a fighter who not just throws a lot of punches and apply pressure, but he has to be awkward. He has to throw punches that are not the normal punches that you're used to blocking and defending against. And that's what made Marcos Maidana so effective. He threw punches that you're not used to practicing for. Who the hell is practicing for a punch that's coming down on your head like this? Nobody, because nobody does that. Somebody like that has a chance. Somebody that's awkward. But somebody, the traditional boxer, ain't nobody beating Shakur. It don't matter if you can box good. It don't matter if you're a hard puncher. You got mad power. Shakur's not going to be able to keep him off of him. That's why Conor Ben sounded like a goofball. You got no power. He's not going to be able to keep me off of him. Man, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. He don't need you to keep you off of him. He outboxed the shit out of you. Conor Ben is food for Shakur Stevenson, my people. Post a track. You give out advice on bets, bro. Bro, I post. I predict the fights. A lot of people, and some of you may be here maybe, but a lot of people made money with my picks. A lot of people. And I don't like to go into, what round and knockouts and not knockouts. I don't like to go into all that because I really understand boxing. I understand that any fight could go the distance, any fight could be a stoppage. I just predict winners and losers. There's people who bet $100, $200 on that parlay. Keyshawn, Shakur, and who else? And Shushu. Keyshawn, Shakur, and Shushu. There's people who put $200, $300 on that parlay. They hit. Everybody hit. Wally Ahmad, Bud retired from boxing and left a plaque and left a plague on the haters in the name of Shakur. Ooh. Yo, listen, man. Terrence Crawford retired from boxing at the top, at the very top. And now he was named Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year. Terrence Crawford shitted on everybody who ever hated on him. Shitted on him. The Hydrogrind, did you see the Zayas fight? I didn't, but see people saying Baru got robbed. Fight was in Puerto Rico. So I seen the highlights, and in the highlights, it did look like Xander Zayas was putting hands on him. And I'm going to say what, this is my perception. Every time that a real good fighter is involved in a competitive fight, they always say that they got robbed. They always say that they lost. It's just the Xander Zayas haters that are going to say that. You know how many people say that Shakur lost against De Los Santos? Or that Terrence Crawford lost against Madrimov? The haters. It's just the haters. That the haters are going to do what the haters are going to do. Post the track. I haven't seen the fight. Whoa, Tio got whooped. Yo, Tio took a beating. Took a beating. Eye for eye. You're right, bro. COE Films. Pelo had rocks in him. Man, I couldn't find a Tank fan to say how they don't know boxing. Bro, look what them pillow hands did. Pillow hands, huh? Golly, like I said, man, them pillows must have had dumbbells, master locks, tuna cans. What the hell Shakur put in them pillows, bro? To give somebody that type of beating. Come on now. Super R coach, yuck. Ow. I guess the thing beating Shakur is time. Trying to tell y'all, man. Shakur. I said Shakur. CER. Fight him in the streets to win. Listen, the way you beat Shakur, bro, you know how you could beat Shakur if you put together a contract where for the fight, he got to fight you in rollerblades with one boxing glove and one baseball glove, blindfolded with a shower cap and holding a lefty golf club while sitting in a unicycle. Then maybe you could beat him. Eye for eye. I watched Keyshawn Davis and Ortiz for the third time. Keyshawn got a couple of holes in his game. He needs to patch up. Honestly, I didn't see it. I didn't see none of that. I saw a masterful performance when he dominated. Starsey, I can't wait to see he get bamboozled. I mean, you know, if you don't like Shakur, you want to see him lose, but that's what's going to make him a superstar, bro. That's what's making him a superstar. The same way you feel about Shakur, a lot of people felt about Floyd. A lot of people felt just like you. That's why Shakur's star power is going to keep skyrocketing. Hakeem, I believe a Barabayev or Madrimov sturdy Soviet style can give problems to Shakur. Honestly, I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. Because guys like that, look, who dished out Barabayev's first loss? A guy who can box in Dmitry Bivol. He got boxed. A real good boxer. So the same thing with Madrimov. He got beat by better boxers. I say Barabayev and Madrimov, these are guys that they're going to outgun you. They're going to out-tough you. So if you try to fight that fight with them, you get in trouble. But a slick boxer, they not beating Shakur. A guy like that's not beating Shakur, bro. A guy like that getting made to look bad. Getting outboxed swiftly. It's an awkward style. That's why I bring up Maidana. Because Maidana gave problems to real good boxers. Why? Because of that awkward style. You got to be aggressive, but if you got that usual boxer type of thing going on, Shakur going to just embarrass you out there. Hakeem, the sturdy, herky-jerky like Demetrius Andrade. And finally, Tank at the end. Tank getting beat up, bro. Tank fight Shakur, he getting beat up. Starsey, Conor Ben got him, bro. Conor Ben is food. Food. Conor Ben getting embarrassed and humbled. And after the fight, he'll be like, yeah, you know, I gave it my best, but the better man won. I don't want to have excuses. Conor Ben is food for Shakur, bro. Food. Post the track. Shakur made Tio look old. Shakur has plenty of power, bro. Fast hands. The hydro grind. Nobody can beat Shakur right now. Eye for eye. Is that the fight? He wobbled Mayweather at the end of the round. Yes, that's the fight. And when he wobbled Mayweather, bro, that we saw Floyd 2 flying out. Maidana even had it on his chain, but Floyd swears that never happened. He hurt Floyd to a point where Floyd stumbled into his corner. Literally walked into his corner like this. If that punch landed with a whole minute to go in the round, Floyd may have got stopped. He may have got stopped. We never seen Floyd eat a shot like that. And to show you how many times I seen that fight, check this out. Just to show you how many times I seen Floyd Mayweather versus Marcos Maidana, I'm going to show you why Floyd got caught with that shot. Floyd Mayweather has a very good right hand that he often used to counter the jab. So fighters would shoot the jab, boom, and get caught with that Floyd right hand. Because Floyd would do, it wasn't even a step back. He didn't step back away from it. You shoot the jab, and Floyd will hit you with the boom. So he kind of just back away a little bit to where your jab don't reach him. And before you're able to recover, he come over it with his own right hand, boom, and catch you with it. He did that a lot. He was a master with doing that. Marcos Maidana studied that and knew that Floyd did that. So look what he did. He shot the jab, but he didn't punch it all the way out. He wasn't trying to hit Floyd with that jab. That was a setup punch. So Maidana went like this and pulled it back. So Floyd was going to do his usual bang. So when Floyd went like that and was coming forward to land his usual right hand, Maidana was already coming with his own right behind that jab. Boom! That punch hit Floyd Mayweather so hard because he was literally going forward. He literally moved into it as the punch was coming in. And Maidana landed right at the end of that punch. Boom! Flush. So ultimately what happened with Floyd is that he went like that. Look. Boom! And the round ended right there. And Floyd literally walked to his corner like this. Stumbled into his corner. That's how hard he got hit. Luckily, the round ended. But if he would have took that same punch with a minute to go into the round, Floyd would have got knocked out in that fight. He would have got knocked out. He didn't have the legs under him. He couldn't stand straight. He was genuinely hurt. But then Floyd showed us what the great ones do. He never allowed Maidana to land another shot like that one. Remember when Devin Haney got hurt by Linares? Boom, took a nasty shot. Wobble too. But Linares was never able to land another shot. Never. So great fighters, when you hurt them, they're so good that you just can't hit them again like that. You got them once, you're not going to get them again. So Maidana, he boxed, threw a lot of punches, landed more than Floyd, but he could never hurt him again after that. One time. You got it one time, but that's all you got. You ain't getting another one of those. Maidana couldn't get another one of those on Floyd. Linares couldn't get another one of those on Devin. Starsky, they think they hot shit because a little defensive boxer. That's all they got, nothing. Oh, man. CER, Shushu almost got knocked out. In my Stevenson daughter voice, yo, Shushu almost got hurt. He got hurt with a looping right hand to the dome piece, got wobbled, but he showed what he's about. Round number 5, he took it off. took off that round, recovered, and then did what he did, man. Got a monster W. Monster W. Super Coach, facts. Starsy, they have Bud, but now all America has Shakur. Bro, stick. Okay, Starsy, you already said enough to earn yourself a 24-hour break. You got to be more positive. Come back tomorrow and be more positive. We already got tired of your hate. You know, hate. You need 24 hours. Tomorrow, come back a little bit more positive. Positive track. Tank Shakur should be the fight. But Tank should be afraid of Shakur. I don't think Tank is afraid of Shakur. I don't think he's afraid of nobody. But I think he don't want to take that out. That's what it is. I think he don't want to take that out. Super Coach. Hater. And I'm Dominican. Zay. T.O. should retire. Nah, I don't think he should retire. God damn. Nah, he took a loss. He took a loss to a great fighter. Side. Bro got knots in his forehead. You know, Pelo Hand Shakur. That's what they said. That's what they said. Super Coach. Butterfly. Hands. Did some damage. Boo Boo's Boxing Academy. Shakur suspicious hand wraps. Damn. You got a conspiracy over here? Eye for eye. You make better picks. Call Showbiz. Everybody loses money on his channel. Man, listen. Showbiz, he's someone who's made it far up in the game. I aspire to get to where he's at. But when it comes to this boxing shit, he can't fuck with me. Showbiz can't fuck with me. Showbiz try to debate me in anything boxing related. I'm cooking them easily. Easily. Bisco, Tank fans bringing up Snack and Victor Conti. Nasty work. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. So far, you're the only one that brought that up over here. Ain't nobody else bring it up. Zay, I want to see Shakur versus Roach. So, Shakur versus Roach is a good fight. But I think Shakur got bigger fish to fry right now. You know, he got Conor Ben, who's obviously a bigger star than Roach, wanting to fight him. That would be a bigger fight. And I believe that Shakur, you know, Conor Ben is food for Shakur Stevenson. Will that fight happen? I don't know. Now, Conor Ben asked for a rehydration and a catch weight, for a rehydration clause for Chris Eubank Jr., right? And Chris Eubank Jr. had to go down to fight him. Well, why don't you go down to fight Shakur and put a rehydration clause in that fight too? But however they fight, rehydration clause or not, he's food for Shakur, my peoples. Al, Conor wanted no parts of that rehydration contract. The assassin. I can't wait till Shakur get knocked out. That's the only reason I was hyped for the fight. But then again, T.O., the guy that lost to, oh yeah, but the assassin, you're going to need 24 hours because you're on hate mode right now. You're on conspiracy and hate mode, family. We don't need the hate. We don't need the hate, family. I know you want Shakur to get knocked out, but you're going to discredit T.O. Just know, anybody who show up in here discrediting T.O. 24. You're going to need a 24-hour break. Because either, you know, don't let your hate get to the point where you talk like you don't know shit about boxing. Poster track. Tank should really be hearing it about a fight with the kid. I'm telling you, when you see talent like that, it's so obvious. I mean, a lot of us have been wanting to see Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. But has Tank Davis shown that he want to fight Shakur? Nope. He don't want to fight Shakur. If he don't want to fight him, he's not going to fight him. We can't force him. Shakur can't force him. That's just the reality. Eye for eye. Roach can't do nothing with Shakur. He too small. Yeah, he too little. He food. He food. Better opportunities. The cheater, I don't know what you're talking about. Not sure what you're talking about. Anthony Montgomery. Bro, I respect your views. You're honest and unbiased. But black and brown own boxing. Shakur makes meatloaf out of all competitors. I mean, listen. I think that your point of view is a little bit one-sided. And I say that is one-sided because nobody dominates boxing. Nobody. And I'm going to tell you why. Arthur Beterbiev from Europe. Dmitry Bivol from Europe. When is the last black heavyweight that you felt dominated boxing? Boxing is not dominated by black and brown folks. Boxing has been dominated by Europe for a very long time. All of the divisions below 125, 126, all of those divisions are dominated by Asians and Mexicans. Come on now. So, yes, there's always been great brown-black fighters. But different divisions have been dominated by Europe, by Asia, by Mexico. So it's not fair to say that only these guys are dominating. One body, that's a long name, bro. Stop it. Mosley hit him harder, and Floyd was never getting stopped. What are you talking about? Mosley hit him harder. Like, it has nothing to do with Mosley hitting him harder or not. It has to do with he got hurt and the round ended and he literally stumbled to his corner. What do you think happens if you stumbling to your corner and the round didn't finish right there? What do you think happens? How do you think that plays out? Zay, you're in Southpaw. You're in Southpaw on our screen. What do you mean I'm in Southpaw? I'm not sure what that means, bro. Eye for eye. Not saying Keyshawn didn't dominate. He put a beautiful fight, Jay, against a very tough opponent. But he had to patch up a few things. Like I said, my brother, I don't know what you mean he needs to patch up. I didn't see anything that he needs to patch up, my guy. I saw a great performance. Pause the track. Tio will never be the same. It's over. He was embarrassed in the other fight. Went just a seat right quick. Yo, it was an embarrassing loss. Now, I'm not willing to say that it's over for Teofimo Lopez because we can't just live in the moment in boxing and just focus on what happened here. Teofimo Lopez got embarrassed by Shakur Stevenson, by the best pure boxer that we've seen in recent history, by the best defensive fighter in the game. Everybody's not going to embarrass Shakur. Everybody's not going to embarrass Teo. Everybody's not going to beat him up. So I can't sit here and tell you, oh, it's over for Teofimo Lopez. Don't be surprised if Teofimo becomes a world champion again and holds another title and accomplishes some more because he really is that great. He just faced somebody that was better than him. Old world. They're all vampires. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Hold on, I gotta get this dummy out of here, my peoples. Oh, fuck? People be wanting attention that badly? Anthony, it's called a pull counter. Floyd is one of the greatest at this punch. I'm not sure why you're telling me what it's called. We're not debating what that's called. We're not asking what that's called. Most of us know what that's called, but I guess thank you for sharing your knowledge that everybody knows. Cool story, family. Zay, Zab, Shane, and Maidana rock Floyd. Yeah, but I would say Zab actually, it should have been a knockdown. Zab should have got a knockdown versus Floyd Mayweather. Because you may recall Floyd actually, his glove touched the canvas. That's a knockdown. And they didn't rule it a knockdown. But if you remember that fight, he ran out of gas and then Floyd picked him apart. Same with Shane Mosley. Shane caught him with a real good shot. But by round number 5, ran out of gas, Floyd picked him apart. Put the beats on him. Now, Maidana was different. Because Maidana at no point, that second fight, Floyd beat him. But in that first fight, there was never a point where Floyd dominated him, where Floyd was dominating him. Floyd dominated Zab after he ran out of gas. He dominated Shane Mosley after he ran out of gas. That didn't happen with Maidana. If you look at the punch stat, like I said, Maidana threw and landed more punches throughout that fight, per round. Clifton Dennis. Devin was hugging for the last 2 rounds. And I love Devin. Do you mean when he fought Linares and he got hurt? But he did what he had to do to survive. You got to understand, he was winning that fight, pitching a shutout, and what he do when he get hurt, did what he had to do to not take another one of those. Linares never landed another big shot. Bisco, you were Rayo Venezuela's. You hear Rayo Venezuela's calling for Shakur. I mean, Rayo Venezuela's is on Zoo for boxing. So, I don't know about all that. I don't know if that could even be made at this point. Eye for eye. Floyd walked corner on the stinky leg. Yeah, people acting like they don't know. Talking about, yeah, nobody could have did nothing to Floyd. Yo, if that punch lands with a minute to go in the round, Floyd would have got knocked out. He would have got knocked out. But it landed right at the end of the fight. Right at the end of the round. Boom, he got hit and the bell rang. So he didn't take no punishment. He got a whole minute to get his shit together. And then he went, he went into I'm the greatest. And you're not going to hit me one more time with that shot. And Maidana couldn't land it again. Santiago, I'm not a hater, but Mayweather ran every fight. He never did with any... Nah. You're wrong about that. You're wrong about that. He didn't run in every fight, and he did go to toe-to-toe a bunch of times. Did you forget what he did to Arturo Gatti? Beat the shit out of him. Did you forget what he did to Diego Corrales? Beat the shit out of him and stopped him. Did you watch the fight where he won his first title versus Gennaro Hernandez? Beat the shit out of him and made him retire. Made him quit. In fact, an undefeated champion or a one-loss champion. So there's a lot of fighters that Floyd beat the shit out of him. But it's like Shakur Stevenson. Look, he beat the shit out of Teofimo Lopez. But guess what? There's people who's always going to talk like he fight everybody the same way he fought De Los Santos. There's people that's going to bring De Los Santos up forever. Forever. Yeah, but look at De Los Santos. They're going to bring that shit up forever. They forgot that Shakur Stevenson beat the shit out of and stopped Jamel Herring. They forgot that he beat the shit out of Oscar Valdez when he was on the undefeated reigning champion. And they're going to forget that he beat the shit out of William Zepeda and Teofimo Lopez. Oh, no, it's always going to be De Los Santos. So, no, you're wrong, Santiago. Floyd Mayweather went toe-to-toe with a lot of people, beat the shit out of a lot of people. But if you don't like him, you're not going to remember none of it. You're only going to remember when he was moving. Dudes act like no great fighters can never take a heavy punch. It happens. It's a part of boxing. It's a part of boxing. If you're boxing, you're going to get hit. And eventually, you're going to get hit with a good shot. Everybody gets hit with a good shot. But people think you got hit with a good shot. They're going to hold that against you for your whole career. You think about it. Gamboa wobbled Crawford at 135. Crawford knocked him out in the round after that. People don't even mention that Crawford knocked him out. They just mention that Gamboa wobbled him. Gamboa wobbled him. Imagine what Arrow's going to do to him. Oh, Gamboa wobbled him. Imagine what Canelo's going to do to him. And what happened to Arrow? What happened to Canelo? By the time Bud fought Canelo, it had been more than 10 years and multiple divisions since he faced Gamboa. And they were still bringing that shit up. They literally brought up Gamboa for the rest of Crawford's whole career. A guy that he knocked out. Because he wobbled them. That's what when people don't like a fighter, they'll cling on to anything that they can to say, look, he's not that good, he's not that good. Stop. He's great. Super Roach. That L will sting Tank more. I mean, he hasn't wanted to fight Shakur Stevenson. I don't know if he's ever going to want to fight him. But Shakur got to a point where he don't give a damn about it no more. Shakur's like, you know what? I don't care about Tank. I'm my own star. And now, star power skyrocketed. Eye for eye. No, he said before, all good fighters, all great fighters take heavy punches. I mean, every fighter take punches, bro. Every fighter. That is boxing. We can't name a single fighter that ain't take hard punches, bro. It's part of the game. But these days with social media, and social media boxing experts, you get hit hard. It's like, oh man, look, he got hit hard. He got exposed. Do you know anybody in boxing? Do you know a single world champion who didn't get hit hard? Floyd Mayweather, arguably the greatest of all time. Maidana hurt him. Shane Mosley hurt him. Zab hurt him. Scored the knockdown that they didn't give it to him. Muhammad Ali got hurt. Every great fighter got hit with great shots. It happens. It's a part of the sport. JJ's in there. Good morning, Jay Smith. I'm here. Let's go. 37 likes. Come on, my peoples. We've been at it. Over an hour and a half. Going on 2 hours. Going on 2 hours. And we couldn't get to 50 likes. 2 hours? And we can't get... Come on, my peoples. Come on. Let's stop with the ghost watching, y'all. Super coach. Conor Ben is comida. Tasty. He tasty. Food, my peoples. Conor Ben gets absolutely cooked by Shakur Stevenson. I hope they make that fight. I hope they make it. Just to see Conor Ben at the end of the fight humbling himself. He was the better fighter. I got no excuses. The better man won. I just couldn't do what I wanted to do. That's exactly how the post-fight interview will play out for Conor Ben. Humble as fuck. Zay. One thing I never saw, those circular design impressions on Shakur gloves. I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. JJ's in the house. Jay Smith, get him the fuck out of here, man. Sometimes you gotta get people out of here when they go with conspiracies and fake narratives and they just can't simply give flowers. That's how we doing it. Eye for eye. You know what I'm talking about, showbiz. Super coach. He don't want to fight him for years. I mean, Tank Davis could have been for Shakur if he wanted to. Tank Davis fight whoever he wants. If he don't want to fight Shakur, he's not going to fight him. And let me just say, right now, Tank is dealing with some legal issues. Yo, he didn't kill nobody. He didn't blow up a building. He didn't get caught with 50 kilos of coke. It's a domestic situation. If worse come to worse, he's not going to do no real time in jail. He's not going to go to jail and do time like that. So, if worse comes to worse, Tank Davis got to do 6 months or something like that in jail. Guess what? He's going to get out. He's going to be hungrier than ever. He's going to go to the gym, start training, and we're going to see Tank fighting again. People who think that Tank is going to quit, that he's done, that his career is over, he only 30 years old, my peoples. Tank Davis could do 6 months in jail. He could do a year in jail and come out and still be dead center in his physical prime. So do not write Tank Davis off. Don't make that mistake. Tank Davis is not done. June B. Jay, we may have different opinion on certain things, but you're always on point, especially compared to all these other commentators. I salute you even though our differences. I appreciate it, family. I appreciate that. And one thing about Boxing for Breakfast, man, and I always make sure that this is not for everybody who agree with me. This is not for everybody who got the same talking points. This is for everybody who love the sweet science, who want to debate about it, who want to talk about it. I'm here for that. Now, if you want to disrespect the fighters, if you want anybody who come in here, man, try to say that Teofimo trash, you're going on a 24. You're going on a 24-hour break, and then the next time I'm blocking you. I'm not here for the disrespect. We could trash talk. We could have a good time with it. But to say that Teofimo is trash because he lost, nah. I'm sending those people on break quickly and swiftly. Because when they say that, it's not really that they feel that way. It's more about hating on Shakur. It's about not giving him his flowers. It's about not acknowledging that he beat one of this era's great fighters. For the people who say he never beat nobody, now he beat Shakur Stevenson, they can't handle that? They still don't want to give flowers? So the disrespect for Shakur Stevenson got to stop. They got to stop at this point. Jay Goods, Nobody dominates boxing. Time to go. You lost me right there. You a fraud for that one. Black has been dominating boxing and clear stop. You got it, champ. If I lost you for telling you about the European fighters that have been dominating the heavyweight division, if I lost you by telling you the lower division has been dominated by Asians, if I lost you for that, I'm glad I lost you. I don't need your goofy shit over here, family. You need to take that shit to them other YouTube channels where they bias and they telling you what you want to hear. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you the truth. I'll be happy to lose you, dogs. I don't need you. I'm all right. Eye for eye. Nah, Tio had 100 more fights in him. He's still a warrior. I agree with you 100%. Tio Fimo is a warrior. He a dog. He a world champion. He a guy who's accomplished in multiple divisions. A guy who's a lineal champion, a Ring Belt Magazine champion. So I'm going to give him his respect. Just because Shakur Stevenson beat the shit out of him, made him look like a third shift janitor at Taco Bell, that doesn't mean that he ain't a great fighter. He lost to another great fighter. It happens in boxing. Jay Smith, get him the fuck out of here. Side. Best defensive boxers since Floyd. That's a fact. That is a fact. There has not been and there isn't a fighter with a better defense than Shakur Stevenson in boxing. And hasn't been since Floyd Mayweather. And we're talking about since Pretty Boy Floyd. Shakur got the defense of Pretty Boy Floyd. Because Money May got hit a little bit. It was Money May that got rocked by a few fighters. Pretty Boy Floyd, nah, you wasn't touching him. You was getting cooked out there. Trying to hit Floyd, you was getting 3-4 piece combos in your face. Eye for eye. Shakur told Conor, Ben, he want the same rehydration clause. I mean, you wanted a rehydration clause when you fought Chris Eubank Jr. Why you now don't want why you don't want the same thing? Keep that same energy, family. JJ said, now Jay Smith, get another one the fuck out of here. We working on him. You know, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Next dumb shit you say, you get the fuck out of here. I give him an opportunity. Al, is Zab a Hall of Famer? 100%. Zab Judah is a Hall of Famer. Without a shred of doubt. And he deserves to be a Hall of Famer. Zab Judah's a great fighter. And a great person, by the way. I met Zab Judah in Gleason's gym in 1998, I think. And I used to see him every day in the gym. I got to see Zab putting in that work. When I met Zab Judah, I think he was like 16-0. If I'm not mistaken, 15, 16-0. I was at Gleason's gym when he became a world champion. So he went to the gym and all that. I got to see him. And, yo, Zab was that guy. People don't realize the type of run that he had. Pause the track. Sugar should have had more time if the refs separated them. Yeah, Zab should have stayed seated on the canvas for 8 seconds. Oh, man, listen. I always replay that fight with Costa Zoo in my head. And I'm going to tell you why. And I've seen that, man, I've seen that fight probably more than 10 times. And that was the first time that I lost money in a fight. Zab Judah versus Costa Zoo was the first time that I ever lost money in a fight. I lost money a few times. I'm not saying, you know, nobody gets 100% of their predictions, you know, right. Nobody. It's impossible. But I get most of them. You guys know that. But I lost money in that fight. I had my money on Zab Judah. And for those of you who actually saw that fight, Zab completely dominated Costa Zoo in the first round. Dominated. He was too fast, too agile. Defense was too slick. And there was just nothing Costa Zoo could do in that first round. In that second round, Zab got caught slipping with his hands down. And I don't think he was overconfident. because he knew that Kasasu was a dangerous fighter. He knew that that's the best opponent he ever faced. He wasn't overconfident. But he made a mistake and got caught with that big shot. And with Zab being the guy, you know, as cocky as he was, you know, that ego, he just jumped right back up without having his legs under him. I know that he wobbled and fell and everything that happened. But one thing that bothered me is that the referee didn't give him the benefit of the 8 count. If he would have counted to 8, Zab would have already been composed, the round would have ended, and the fight could have kept going. And I think Zab Judah could have beat Kasasu. But the right thing for him to do was stay on the knee. He should have stood on a knee, waited for 8, and he would have got up, and the round would have ended. But we already saw enough to know who was the better boxer in the fight. And it was definitely Zab Judah. Kasasu was going to rely on his power. And Zab had the right defense to offset what Kasasu was bringing to the table. It played out the way that it did. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But after that, Zab Judah won more titles, won in more divisions, unified titles. So you got to respect Zab Judah, a very accomplished fighter, one of the best to ever come out of Brooklyn, a Brooklyn icon. And there's been a lot of great fighters from Brooklyn, y'all. Mike Tyson is one of them. Shannon Briggs is another one of them who became a heavyweight world champion. Now Shushu Carrington, repping Brooklyn, been that way. Plus the track, Shakur bodywork is exceptional. I mean, Shakur has stopped fighters to the body, dropped fighters to the body. And Keyshawn Davis got a stoppage to the body too. That team been working. Buck Crawford was a body snatcher too, and people just didn't understand that. Danny Guns, when Floyd was pretty boy, he was knocking people out. Then when he got issues, he turned to Money Made. Well, to be honest, that's a narrative that I don't really go with that, because if you look at Floyd Mayweather, right, he had 50 wins, 25 knockouts. Most of his knockouts came early in his career. And I need you to understand, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he got a lot of those knockouts versus people you never heard of. He got a lot of those knockouts versus journeyman and versus nobodies. So Pretty Boy Floyd got probably 2 or 3 knockouts versus notable fighters. Got a knockout versus Diego Chico Corrales and got a couple more. But Pretty Boy Floyd wasn't a knockout artist like some people want to paint him. A lot of those knockouts came early in his career when Pretty Boy Floyd was fighting nobodies. When Pretty Boy Floyd stepped up and started facing the better opponents, he wasn't knocking them out, bro. Those fights was going the distance too. Wes Dussett, damn, I'm late, Jay Smith. Peace, Box Center family. Salute, my brother. Crawford puts you on to sleep for catching him clean. Yo, people who hurt Crawford, they got slept. Shortly after, Clifton Dennis. It's like if you're in the NBA, you're going to get dunked on. It happens. It happens. In boxing, everybody's been hit. If you fight long enough, you're going to get stunned. You're going to get wobbled. It's how you bounce from it. You're even going to get dropped. A lot of people, it's not a lot of fighters who have a career that they could say, I never got dropped in my whole career. That's not a lot of fighters that could do that, bro. Most fighters visit the canvas. The overwhelming majority of fighters visit the canvas. I got one professional fight. In that one fight, I dropped my opponent and he dropped me. We both visited the canvas. That's part of boxing, my peoples. Positive track. I think Tank makes or breaks Tank's legacy. I think that makes or break Tank's legacy. Listen, Tank still got time to build upon whatever he's already done. Tank still can win more titles. He still can accomplish more. Let's see, when he get past this legal situation that he's dealing with. JJ said I have 43 likes. Yes, let's go. Get more for Jace, man. My people, let's get to 50 likes, yo. We real close to 50 likes. I've been at it with you guys for over 2 hours, man. Come on now. Let's get to 50 likes, my people. Mike Golden, listen, man. I used to criticize Shakur, but after what he did to Tio, I have to give the kid his just due. I just really don't see anyone beating him besides maybe Tank. So, Mike Golden, I appreciate you, seeing what's happening inside the ring and judging based on that. Salute to you, brother, because there's too many boxing fans that when they decide, I don't like this guy, they're going to cling on to anything. We already see people during this show trying to discredit Teofimo Lopez, trying to disrespect him, trying to say, yeah, he beat Teo, but Teo's not all that. So much respect to you for acknowledging what you saw in the ring instead of trying to hold on to a narrative. Santiago, I enjoy your channel, homie, for real. You got knowledge, brother, for sure. You remember everything, even from back in the day. Salute, family. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it, my brother. And I tell you what, man, that's why people think when I say Jay Stradamus, the human algorithm, those are just gimmick names and shit like that. But those are titles that I hope with time I'll be able to earn them with all of you guys, that you can see that I'm not just talking to say shit, man. Listen, my pops put me on to boxing when Julio Cesar Chavez fought Meldrick Taylor the first time. If you saw that fight, it went the distance. Meldrick Taylor was beating the shit out of Chavez. And Chavez stopped him in round number 12 with like 10 seconds to go. Richard Steele pulled the plug on that fight. I've seen that fight more than 10 times. There's a lot of fights that I've seen a lot of times. There's no fight that I've seen more than that one. I've seen that fight so many times. Because there's things that I've just wanted to understand about it. But when that fight happened, I was 11 years old, my brother. And ever since then, I've been studying the sweet science to the fullest. To the fullest. For those of you who didn't see Julio Cesar Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor 1, you need to see that fight, my peoples. What a great fight. Meldrick Taylor, fast, sharp, hard puncher. Julio Cesar Chavez, a lot slower, but much harder puncher. The one thing that I never understood about that fight until I saw it a few times is that Meldrick Taylor was going like this, right? Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Quick and landing a lot of punches on Chavez. Winning all the rounds. But in every single round, Chavez was landing 2, 3 hard shots to the head. Boom, boom, boom. But you didn't really notice because Meldrick Taylor was just putting hands and feet throughout the whole fight. But Chavez kept landing 1, 2, 3 big shots on every round. Boom, boom, while he taking punishment. So what I didn't realize that eventually I understood it. Slowly but surely, Chavez was breaking them down. Bang, bang. Catching them with heavy shots. If you watch it the first time, it's hard to notice it because, Meldrick Taylor was so fast and he was landing clean punches on Chavez. 3, 4, 5, his combination. Bah, 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 and moving and looking sharp and just looking flashy out there. Looking real good. That's all you notice. But when you watch it the second time, the third time, and you focus now on all the little details, Chavez was catching him with big shots. And in that round number 12, where he finally caught him with that right hand, boom, and dropped him, he hurt him badly, real bad. When I was a kid and growing up, I was like, the referee cheated Meldrick Taylor. He cheated. He had to let the fight keep going. But then I finally understood. Meldrick Taylor got up like this. Eyes like this. The referee's like, can you keep going? Can you keep going? Are you okay to go? The referee waved it. Lou Duva jumps in the going crazy, the crowd going crazy. And then Richard still says something that made me understand, my peoples, because I told you I don't go with narrative. I analyze everything. Richard still said, as a referee, my job is not to look at the clock and say, okay, maybe he's going to make it because there's not a lot of time left. That's not my job. My job is to determine, once you got dropped, can you defend yourself? Do you have the wherewithal to defend yourself from incoming punches? And the answer was, Meldrick Taylor could not defend himself. When I said, are you okay? Can you go? Can you go? Waved it. I'm not looking at the clock. What if Chavez runs across the ring, boom, and lands a punch that ends his life? Or that leave him paralyzed? Then you're going to say, damn, why Richard still let that happen to him? Why he let him get done like that? So I absolutely did the right thing. And then when I watched that interview, I watched the fight so many times, I understood it. He did the right thing. It was a legit stoppage. If you watch it and you forget about the clock, you just look at Meldrick Taylor and how he's reacting, it was a good stoppage. So I'll tell you this story so you can see, bro, I've been on this since I was 11 years old. Since I was 11 years old. And there's never been, I've never been biased. I never pick a fighter to win because I like him or because he's from my country. When I'm making my picks, I'm picking the better fighter. I'm making my assessment and I'm picking who I expect to win, not who I like. Eye for eye. In fact, Floyd fought everybody they said he couldn't beat. Oh, Floyd Mayweather went down as one of the greatest of all time for a reason. Because he is one of the greatest, or arguably the greatest of all time. Charlie Beemore, who wins Shakur versus Kid Austin? I do believe Kid was poisoned. So, you know, again, that narrative is crazy that he was poisoned. What makes that narrative crazy? Because if he was poisoned, who poisoned him? There was no investigation? Bro, poisoning somebody, that's a felony crime. Somebody go to jail for that. Did you see an investigation to find out who poisoned him? Nope, no investigation. Just fans making shit up out of thin air. But who poisoned him? Did you see an investigation? Did you see the police get involved? Did you see anything? Nope. Just fans who hate Shakur and come up with fake narratives out of nowhere. Poisoning somebody is a felony crime, bro. Somebody would have been in jail right now. Right now, if he really was poisoned, somebody would have been in jail right now, bro. They don't want to fight Shakur. They don't want that smoke. They know how that fight would have played out. Hakeem, Kid himself knew he didn't measure. They know. They don't want to fight Shakur. Just like they don't want to fight Abdullah Mason. You don't see Kid Austin Pops say, we want $10 million for Abdullah Mason. $10 million is the mythical figure that you put out there when you don't want to fight. Remember when Danny, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, when everybody wanted $10 million to fight Terrence Crawford at 147? They knew they wasn't getting that money. They knew that. Wes Dustin, I missed the cooking session yesterday. I picked Ortiz to beat Keyshawn, and he got molly-whopped. Wes Dustin, stop going against Jay Stradamus, bro. You know Jay Stradamus is going to give you the right pick. When you pick against me, you're going to get used to this happening. Jay Smith, get him the fuck out of here. Man, a lot of people need that, bro. Shakur hands, I'll be happy. I'll be happy to lose you, dog. I'll be happy to lose that goofball. I'm out of here. You're a fraud. Get your goofy ass out of here. Happy to let you go, fam. Jay Goods, Ortiz trash. Damn, Ortiz trash. Damn, but he went 12 rounds with Lomachenko. Went 12 rounds with Teofimo Lopez. How you going to think he trash? He a good fighter. Hakeem, anyone with a victory over Pitbull Cruz can make a comeback to elite competition at 140. I believe that. Pitbull Cruz is a top level guy, a world caliber fighter, a world championship caliber fighter. He's already won a world title. Rayo Valenzuela, he's a world championship caliber fighter too. Al, they'll never call Tio trash to his face though. Come on now. To say that Teofimo Lopez is trash, that's somebody who either don't know shit about boxing or somebody who just does not refuses to give credit to Shakur Stevenson. That's just the reality. Side, letting y'all know, man. Double tap that screen. Hit that like button. Salute, my brother. Bam. Santiago, Zuffa is free on Paramount Plus. Well, you got to understand. Paramount Plus is not free. Paramount Plus is not free, just like the Zone is not free. So the same way you might see some fights be on pay-per-view on the Zone, you're going to get that on Zuffa Boxing on Paramount Plus too. So it's not free because Paramount Plus is not free. Side, hit the like button for the love of boxing. Golly. Lord Quincy, I respected you when you predicted the Devin fight play for play and everything happened just the way you called it. I learned not to go against you. I appreciate it, bro. In this fight with Shakur and Tio, there's people who saw that prediction and they still went against me, bro. They keep going against me. JJ's in J. Smith. Tio dad has to go. He said that his son didn't listen to the corner. What the? Like, he didn't listen to his corner. You were just telling him to go out there and fight and throw more. Where's your power? And throw more punches. Tio dad need to get fired, man. Tio dad should have been fired right after. Right after the Cambosos fight, Tio dad should have been fired. Who gives instructions like, fuck him up, fuck him up? What kind of instructions are those, bro? You gonna help somebody win like that? Horrible. Daniel Negron, Casasu beat the hell out of Chavez. Oh, man, yeah, that was a brutal beating. Brutal beating. But at that point, Chavez was washed up. He shouldn't even took that fight. Shouldn't have took that fight. JJ said that Mayweather had to change his boxing technique because of his hands too. But that showed his greatness. He adjusted his technique and still was able to continue to win and continue to be great. Danny Guns, you think he beat Castillo? To be honest, I felt like Castillo won the first fight versus Floyd Mayweather. I felt like he threw and landed more punches. Even the scorecards of the people calling it, Castillo was ahead. When the fight finished, if you look at it, you didn't see Floyd celebrating. You didn't see his corner celebrating. Everybody was worried. Everybody was really worried. And Castillo's team hugging each other, smiling like, we got him. Everybody was happy as hell. It looked like Castillo won to me. But I got to say, Floyd Mayweather gave him the rematch and schooled him in the rematch. Maidana looked like he beat Floyd in the first fight. Floyd gave him a rematch and schooled him too. So what is the story about Floyd Mayweather and Castillo? Floyd won a controversial decision in the first time, but gave him a rematch and beat him up. Schooled him. Maidana, controversial win. People say Maidana won. Floyd gave him a rematch, schooled him. That's what great fighters do. Oh, you don't believe I beat him? I'm going to give him a rematch, whoop his ass. That's what he did. Santiago, let's go hit that like button, my peoples. Come on, man. Come on, my peoples. By the way, no longer shadow ban. The shadow ban has been lifted. I don't have no more YouTube strikes. It's going to start to get popping up in here. Zay Mayweather knocked out Hatton, Diego Corrales, Victor Ortiz, and Gotti. Best KOs. I would say Floyd Mayweather's best stoppage was Diego Corrales. Best stoppage. Why? Diego Corrales. In fact, I'm going to prove to you that was his best stoppage. That was the last time in Floyd Mayweather's career that he fought as an underdog. Hatton, people expected him to beat him up. Victor Ortiz, heavy underdog, he was expected to get beat up. and Gotti was past his best days, had taken multiple losses. He was expected to get made to look bad. But Diego Corrales was a fighter who people thought could beat Floyd. I thought, me right here, I was like, yo, this guy might beat Floyd. Because Chico Corrales was on a run. Rest in peace to Diego Corrales. He was on a run. And you just thought, man, this guy might beat Floyd. And you saw what happened. Floyd got him, gave him the beating of a lifetime, and stopped him. Marie, Tio said he will be back in May. Who's going to fight, you think, at 147? Yeah, I did see him say that he's going to the welterweight division. Let's see. Let's see what Tio's going to do. Of course, he's not going to go straight for a world champion at welterweight. He's probably going to, if he's moving up to welterweight, I'm expecting him to get a tune-up fight, get a nice win, and then be looking to pursue a title shot. John Parham, Tio Norma, it's a good bounce-back fight for both. I don't think that they'll fight each other because obviously one of them would have to take an L, and it will be back-to-back L's for them. So I don't think they're going to do that. Instead, I think both of them are going to take the same route where they, fight a lower-level opponent than a championship caliber fighter, get a nice win, get back into rhythm, get back in the win column, and then make their way into a championship fight. Santiago, that's the same for me. That was one of the first fights I seen, Chavez versus Taylor. It was a great fight for sure. Look, man, when I saw that fight, and I still remember my pops took me to one of his friend's house to watch the pay-per-view. And, ever since that fight, I fell in love with boxing. Funny thing about that fight, obviously my first fight, I'm 11 years old. I don't know shit about boxing. I was rooting for Meldrick Taylor because I saw this dude ripped, cut the hell up, shredded. And when they were showing the replays, the way he was knocking people out, I was like, oh, shit. Then I see the Mexican guy. You guys know Chavez was never a muscular fighter. This Mexican fighter looking a little bit soft right here, looking a little bit soft, no real muscles to show. I was like, oh, nah, Meldrick Taylor going to cook him. But I never remember my first fight. I don't know nothing about Chavez. I don't know that this guy got 80 wins. 80 wins and whatever amount of knockouts. And undefeated with 80 plus wins. I didn't know that. I just know that this guy looked like he's not even strong like that. And then my very first fight, I found out it's not about the muscles. It's not about looking strong. And if you think about it, that shit happen all the time, B. Guys be like this, whoa, cut these, and they get beat up by the guy who don't got muscles like that. All the time you see that in boxing. At all levels, at the lower levels, at, the B-level fighters and all of that, you see the guys like this getting beat the hell up by the guys who don't really got muscles like that. While you been in the gym lifting weights, this dude been working on his technique. When y'all share the ring, you getting beat up. John Parham. Cena said he would definitely take on Tio if it came down to it. Who's senior, bro? Which senior? Because Tio need a real coach. Pop Dukes needs to get fired ASAP, my peoples. Let's keep it real, man. That's just the reality. Philly Talk TV, man. What's the deal, my G? Santiago, my bad. I didn't even think of that shoot. My bad, fam. Remember, ain't nothing in this life free. That's a fact, man. Ain't nothing free. John Pound, Superman, streets cleared, but still ice. Oh, man, that sucks. I'm going to have to be honest, man. The weather's beautiful out here. It was a little bit of rain earlier. The sun is coming out. I wish you guys had this same weather. Philly Talk TV, bro. You the only person I know that watches more boxing and talks about what more than I do. I appreciate that, family. I know a lot of us watch a lot of boxing, and a lot of us are students of the game. But I'm on it, bro. I'm on it. I could talk to you about Julio Cesar Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor. I could talk to you about Oscar De La Hoya versus Tito Trinidad, how that fight played out. De La Hoya got robbed, but he looked for that robbery. He should have won that fight, but the championship rounds, he ran too much, allowed Trinidad to dictate the pace. And Don King was a Trinidad promoter. Don King wasn't going to let you walk out of there with that W. He wasn't going to let you do it. And by the way, Oscar De La Hoya went to Puerto Rico twice to try to get that rematch with Trinidad. Pop Dukes, Trinidad Pops wasn't trying to have it. They never... That's a rematch that we missed out on that we should have got, and we never did. So I could talk to you, leading up to, since back then up until right now, I could talk to you about Evander Holyfield taking his first loss to Riddick Bowe, which I literally cried. Evander Holyfield, one of my favorite heavyweight fighters of all time, I cried when he lost to Riddick Bowe. I celebrated when he won in the rematch. And then I was sad when he lost in the third fight. I was watching when the guy with the fan flew into the ring and they beat the shit out of him as he was tangled into the ropes. I saw when Hasim Rahman knocked out Lennox Lewis. Boom. And then he didn't want to give him the rematch. But he couldn't fight because he had a rematch clause. Yo, they even went to court. Lennox Lewis had to take Hasim Rahman to court to make him fight him because he didn't want to fight him. And he lost in court. He had to fight him. He couldn't fight nobody until he fight Lennox Lewis. And what happened when he fought Lennox Lewis? He got knocked out. Lennox Lewis got his get back. I still remember when Miguel Cotto, when this guy with dirty motherfucker beat the shit out of Miguel Cotto with the illegal hand wraps, hitting him with cast. And then what happened when they got the rematch? Miguel Cotto beat the crap out of him. So I'm a boxing historian too, bro. And to be honest, I don't go too far back. Fights that I didn't witness myself, I don't go that far back. Like, I know about Ali. I know the history between Ali and Frazier, Ali and Foreman. I know the history between the Four Kings, Sugar Ray Leonard, Duran. I know about Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, and how they went, So I've been following boxing, what's actually happening, and I generate my opinions based on what happens, not based on who I like, based who's from my country, none of that shit. I'm going with what's actually happening. Frontline. Tio versus Matias, Saez versus Kelly, June, Puerto Rican Day in NYC with a stacked undercard. I like that. I like those fights. But I think Teofimo Lopez is going to go to 147. Matias is staying at 140, if I'm not mistaken. But I was talking to my Puerto Rican brother, Chosen One, Camachito Rivera, and he told me that Tito Trinidad personally told Subriel Matias, you're going to go to 147, and you're going to become a champion over there. So Teofimo and Subriel might meet up at 147. But I don't think that fight happens next, and here's why. Similar to what I said earlier, Tio and Subriel, they both coming off of a loss. I don't think they fight each other, and one of them ends up getting 2 losses in a row, which is going to make your stock stumble. So I think Subriel is going to be put in a position to win a fight. Teofimo is also going to be put in a position to win. Both of them get a tune-up type of fight, and then eventually they could meet up. Santiago Ramirez, Chavez had heavy hands for sure. Everyone knew Chavez after that fight. Man, he was heavy-handed, bro. Super heavy-handed. Philly Talk TV, Meldrick, that's my guy. That boxing left him with the shakes. And we was locked up together. I'm going to tell you something. Meldrick Taylor is a bad tale of what could happen to a fighter. Chavez, it's like I told you, man. Even though he was beating the shit out of Chavez in that first fight, but he was taking some big shots to the head. And then in that rematch, man, Chavez beat the shit out of him real bad. So I believe after that fight, he should have retired. It should have been over for him. But you know how it is in boxing. You got to stay in it. You got to keep making money. Most fighters not really saving their money like that. He stuck around a little bit too long, and it affected him. Messed him up in the head. We've seen too many of those. That's why I think fighters, they have to understand when it's time to retire, when it's time to go. because your health is important, more important than anything else. Some guy, was Shakur that good or Tio that bad? Nah, Shakur was that good. Shakur was definitely that good. And we're always going to get that when a fighter's great. Look at Canelo. He didn't look good versus Crawford. Look at Errol Spence. He didn't look good versus Crawford. So you're going to see that throughout the history of boxing. Two great fighters meet up, and one of them doesn't look good. It's not that he wasn't good. It's that he just had somebody in front of him who didn't allow him to look good. Some guy. Okay, OG historian. Was Donovan Razor Ruddock a better fighter than Deontay Wilder? Yes. Yes. Right there, you're not asking me that question because you don't know the answer. You're asking me that question because you want to know if I know the answer. And of course, I know the answer. Donovan Razor Ruddock was a technician. He wasn't just a hard puncher. He had technique. He had a fucking heck of a jab. Was a great counterpuncher. Nasty uppercut. The arsenal, he had more in the bag than Deontay Wilder, but technically, he was way sharper. Some guy, you're not asking me because you want to know. You're asking me because you wanted to know if I know. I do know. Donovan Razor Ruddock would have knocked out Deontay Wilder brutally. Hakeem, Shakur and Devin are that good. You know the game plan beforehand to stop it or get Shakur to a UD. Yo, listen, there's just nothing you could do with some of these fighters. There's a very small list of fighters that ain't nobody beating. Very small list. Shakur is one of them. That simple. JJ said, J. Smith, you have to get him the fuck out of here. T-shirts and bumper stickers. Will, T.O. was bewildered after round number 2. Some guy, okay, we get it. You know your shit. Get to the comments. Haha. Danny Guns. My first fight was Boom Boom Mancini versus Camacho. My first fight was Folari Bo in the guard. I left fast after the fight. Polish guys were fighting black in the stand. Danny Guns, so you been on it, man. You was watching. You got to see some of the golden era of boxing. What I like about that time is that it didn't take a long time for the best to fight the best. It's like everybody wanted to fight each other. And you got to see Camacho live. Whoa, salute to you, brother. You enjoy some great boxing. Double AD, good morning, Jay. 37 people in this Monday morning. Let's fucking go. Danny Guns. I'm at my first fight in person. Bo Galata. Ooh, Riddick Bowe versus Galata. Ooh. And listen, Galata had a little run in the heavyweight division, but mentally he was too unstable, man. You saw him quitting in some fights, acting erratic. I remember he actually tried to kick Riddick Bowe. How you try to kick somebody, bro? His head wasn't right. Clifton Dennis. How good is Keyshawn Davis? Really, can he win a title at 140 from anybody besides Dalton Smith? Keyshawn Davis is an elite level fighter, bro. Now, is he going to stay at 140? He's talked about moving up to 147. So I don't know if he's going to stay at 140. Let's see what he does moving forward. Danny on the ground. I remember when Julio Cesar Chavez being the face of boxing, Don King, biggest star at the time. Yo, Julio Cesar Chavez, you witnessed it. We got to see a great fighter who didn't even look like, physically, he didn't look like he could be great. Physically, you didn't see a muscle in sight in Julio Cesar Chavez. But golly, man, them hands heavy. Wes Dustin, Clifton. Devin accepted the fight with Key on social media. That would be a good fight. I love that fight. Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney. I love that fight, man. Charlie Beemore, Shakur will get whooped when he meets somebody that can properly cut the ring. Okay. Mike, Wilfredo Benitez was the 5th king. He beat the Ram and won 15 rounds with Hearns. Won world titles, 17 years old. Listen, Wilfredo Benitez is considered the best Puerto Rican fighter of all time by a lot of people. To me, the best Puerto Rican fighter of all time is Tito Trinidad. Now, to be fair, I didn't get to watch a lot of what Wilfredo Benitez did because I wasn't, I was too young. I wasn't even watching boxing at that time. He accomplished some of his feats when I was like 3 years old, 4 years old. So I didn't get to see it. And I got to see Tito Trinidad. I got to see his run in the welterweight division, how he, got the second most defenses in the welterweight division. Then I watched him move up to 154 and put the beats on David Reed, David the Dream Reed, who was an Olympic gold medalist, and Trinidad just beat the shit out of him, dominated him. So to me, Tito Trinidad, the best Puerto Rican fighter of all time, but Wilfredo Benitez, a lot of people see him as that guy, and I respect that. I respect it. Some guy know of any fighters who got out of the game at the right time. They all seem to stay too long. Nah. Look at Andre Ward. Andre Ward retired undefeated, and he even retired younger than Floyd. And look, he looks real good today. Real sharp today. You see him on TV talking. Don't even look like a boxer. Don't even look like he ever been hurt. So there's some fighters out there who got out the game at the right time, but a lot of fighters don't. Will, Tio's corner is horrible. Advice was, go hit him. Where's the fuck is your power? Man, listen. I told you guys the same day of the fight, yesterday and today, Tio Pops need to get fired. Fire your Pops because he's not going to get you any further. He's not going to get you to a higher level. Rosa, Shakur put on a clinic. Yes or no, Jay? A masterclass. Definitely put on a clinic. Beat the shit out of Teofimo Lopez and made it look easier. Let me just show you. I'll just show you, my peoples. To all the people, to everyone who says that Shakur got pillow hands. Look at the pillow hands right there, what they did. Look what the pillow hands did. Whoa, Shakur don't hit hard. He got them brittle hands. Beat the shit out of Teofimo Lopez. Both eyes swollen, big ass cut, had Teo leaking. And look at his forehead. Looking like one of them characters from Avatar. How you get left with 50 lumps in your forehead, bro? Come on, my peoples. Go get the money. Tio Pops being drunk in his son corner. In the biggest stage is wild. I mean, I don't know what he was on, but goddamn. John Parham, Tio Pops should just be a hype man. Like Vinny from Naughty by Nature. Yeah, he could be the hype man. You can't be the coach, man. You can't be the trainer. You can't be the guy giving bullshit-ass instructions. Teofimo looked like he was in a bare-knuckle boxing fight. And they hit him with brass knuckles like John Parham said. My peoples, we about to end this episode of Boxing for Breakfast, man. I appreciate everybody who tuned in this morning. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Salute to Eye for Eye, John Parham, Andrew, Rosa Andre. Go get the money. Wade James. Let me ask you a question, Wade James. Conor Ben gonna talk the talk or Shakur gonna smoke him? Nah, man. Conor Ben is food for Shakur Stevenson, my brother. He food. Food and tasty. He real tasty food. Salute. JJ said they has always in the building, always showing love. Double A. Danny Guns was in the building. Shakur Hands. Jaime Roman. Who else was in the building, man? I got to show love to everybody who show love, man. Imada 210 was in the building as well. Frontline, salute family. Hakeem, Clifton Dennis, Wes Dussett, Skipper Clipper, and everybody else who tuned in. Fellas, I'm lucky that you guys decide to enjoy boxing with me. It's an honor and a privilege. Like I said, man, I hope you guys enjoy the show. Tomorrow, Boxing for Breakfast, we're going to do what we do. We're going to be, because there's some fights that we didn't get to talk about. We didn't really get to the Bakr Mortasaliev, Josh Kelly fight. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the people in the UK or in London or wherever that shit was. They was full of shit. Horrible, horrible. They didn't call the fight. They was calling what Josh Kelly was doing. The bias was out of order, and we got to talk about that tomorrow. We got to talk about Xander Sayas. I gave him love, but I want to talk about that fight because some people felt like he won in a robbery. You know, I don't believe that. We got to talk about Xander Sayas because he's a special fighter coming out of Puerto Rico. I believe he's the face of Puerto Rican boxing. So there's some fights that we got to talk about, some situations that we got to talk about tomorrow. We're going to address it, my peoples. Once again, one love to everybody who tuned in. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the show. Salute to everybody who hit that like button. Salute to everybody who didn't hit the like button. Salute to the haters who go in here trying to disrupt the show, but we still do what we do, my peoples. One love. I'm Jay Smith. I'm signing off. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, man. You guys have a good day. Have a good Monday. Let's go get this money, y'all. Peace. Bam.